We have commentators laughing at this.
Washington has done that incredibly well so far. Reese missed the first one, still with it, blocked.
They realized that they were laughing and then quickly stopped themselves like, oh, I can't laugh. I'm live right now. I can't laugh. I'm live right now. Let me let me get real serious.
Another episode in what can only be called the most perplexing endorsement arrangement in recent memory is being watched by the basketball community. Commentators are grabbing for the mute button instead of the replay button as Angel Reese keeps releasing highlight reels. Industry insiders are starting to speculate about what could be the most costly error since someone believed the XFL was a wise purchase, especially since her trademark Reebok sneaker is scheduled to debut in 2026.
The Washington Mystics just put belt to ass on Angel Reese and the Chicago Sky. Sonia Citron was out there cooking with hot grease. Stir the pot. Stir the pot. Keep cooking, Sonia. That was a show. She put on a flat-out show versus Angel Reese in the Chicago Sky. Boy, did they ruin Angel Reese's homecoming.
Americans as a whole hold their breath when Angel Reese takes the court, and not in a positive way. She has accomplished something genuinely amazing in her sophomore season, shooting 31.5% on layups and making the third most layup attempts in the league. Give that time to marinate. Standing 6 feet 3 inches, this professional basketball player misses shots that junior varsity players in high school make while they sleep.
The Chicago Bravado once again got their ass kicked. Angel Reese was so bad last night, the announcers calling the game, they were laughing at her performance. Check out some highlights for yourself. Well, KC, you always do this. You select a couple of bad plays and try to convince us that Angel Reese isn't a superstar.
Reese has become an inadvertent comedian due to the statistical impossibility of being thus ineffective at point-blank range. She missed 4 straight putback attempts in 12 seconds during one particularly famous stretch against the New York Liberty, 2 of which were blocked. For all the wrong reasons, the video became a master tutorial in how to transform a basic basketball play into performance art, and it went viral more quickly than a TikTok dance.
This was an epic embarrassment, bro. Remember, this is a pro basketball player. Won a national championship. Their calling card they'd like to hang over is she beat Caitlin Clark. Remember that. Watch this.
Persistence trying to pay off. Jones gets a piece. Angel Reese won't give up. Jones with another block.
Are you serious, guys?
This season, she has a solid field goal percentage of 44.4%, which seems amazing until you consider that the majority of her shots are from just under the basket. In contrast, layup conversion rates for professional basketball players are usually close to 70 to 80%. Somehow, Reese has been able to make the most basic basketball shot into a coin toss.
Spin cycle, the Angel Reese, face up. Oh, here we go. Oh, snap, cook up, crossover. Crossover right to the rack, and but we got our own rebound. Beautiful. We got our own offensive rebound. Here we go again. A little bit of travel action in there. And we missed another. But don't worry. We grabbed our second rebound. Let me just posture up real quick. Talk my ish. You can't guard me. Point forward, Angel Reese.
The response from those who are hired to make every play sound exciting is the clearest sign of how troublesome Reese's shooting has been. Commentators for the NBA and WNBA are skilled experts who can make a standard free throw sound like the shot that's heard all across the world. However, these same commentators struggle to remain calm when Angel Reese gets close to the basket.
With her dominant performances in June, she earned her All-Star selection. But these aren't just a couple of bad plays. These aren't bloopers. These aren't rare moments. This is the norm. The same thing happened last week when the Chicago Bravado got their ass kicked by the Minnesota Lakers. I don't have to convince you that Angel Reese has no impact on winning. Just look at her record. Look at her resume in the WNBA.
Subscribe if you're enjoying it. One commentator was heard laughing loudly on the air during a recent game after seeing yet another bizarre mistake on what should have been a simple layup. The unexpected miss doesn't come with this kind of mild teasing. This is the sound of confusion and professional disappointment. You've passed a boundary that most athletes never even come close to when those whose job it is to promote the thrill of the game begin to laugh at your attempts to play it. Social media content has become a cottage business due to the viral nature of these moments. Millions of people have seen compilation movies of her missed layups, with admirers highlighting the dramatic quality of each miss with slow motion effects and circus music. Viral celebrity like this doesn't increase shoe sales. It is the type of thing that causes marketing professionals to reevaluate their life decisions.
Inside, and Washington has done that incredibly well so far. Reese missed the first one, still with it, blocked.
We go through All-Star break, we come back, 9 turnovers. We sit out with a back injury, we come back, can't make a fundamentally sound layup. Maybe they rushed you back from injury. Tyler Marsh, did you rush her back from injury? Tyler Marsh, I'm looking at...
The Chicago Sky's remarkable failure to win basketball games magnifies Angel Reese's troubles, even though individual performance issues may be disregarded if they happened on a successful team. The Sky, who are currently at 721, have combined Reese's shooting difficulties with a team effort that would make a recreational league blush. The team is currently on a losing skid of 8 games. The fact that they have lost all 5 games without Ree because of her recent back ailment is maybe the most telling. This leads to an intriguing conundrum. Despite her inability to win, the team somehow became much worse without her. It's similar to witnessing someone standing in a burning house and whining about a malfunctioning air conditioner.
I'm no expert in math, but it looks like Angel Reese wins 1 out of every 3 games. If I remember correctly, Angel Reese has beaten a team with a winning record once this season. So you tell me how Angel Reese impacts winning.
Despite his best efforts to portray the situation in a positive light, Coach Tyler Marsh has been unable to cover up the underlying problem. The player who consistently contributes content for blooper reels is the cornerstone of the Sky's identity. Your hopes of winning a title tend to change when your best player's most memorable moments feature missed shots that would test the skills of a middle school student wearing a blindfold. Angel Reese was chosen by Reebok to represent their basketball comeback. Under Shaquille O'Neal's direction, the firm signed Ree as their first big basketball player and promised to release her signature shoe in 2026. This appeared to be a fair risk on paper. Although the player is young, has a big social media following, and has room to improve, reality has a way of making paper tactics look like origami failures. Todd Krinsky, the CEO of Reebok, has openly likened Ree to great athletes like Allen Iverson and Shaquille O'Neal, implying that she possesses the same capacity to transform culture. When you take into account that both O'Neal and Iverson were, good basketball players, the comparison becomes more tragic than inspirational. Industry watchers are starting to wonder if Reebok really knew what they were getting into. You're not just buying an athlete's current performance when you sign them to represent your brand. You're placing a wager on their course. That trajectory in Reese's case seems to be a straight line toward the bottom of the rim, with an unavoidable bounce into the stance coming next.
Who I went to school with. I'm not gonna follow people who are not friends of mine, but acquaintances, right? Again, you don't have to, I'm not gonna do that to you. But again, sometimes I'd be looking at their page and bro, you were fucking lucky. Cause I wanted to unfollow you so fucking bad, but again, I'm not no celeb, so I ain't gonna do it. But I low-key be plotting on niggas to unfollow me, just so I could be like, bitch! I don't even fuck with you like that. For real, for real. And a lot of times I be wanting to unfollow people because a lot of people don't even really post on social media.
Reese's current back ailment, which has kept her out of several games, has been perhaps the most forgiving development in this ongoing basketball tragedy. Reese's absence has offered a little break from the weekly highlight reel of basic basketball mistakes, even though injuries are never something to rejoice about. For all parties involved, the injury has come at a particularly fortunate time. It happened at a time when social media was at its most saturated with viral footage of her missed layups, allowing the general basketball public to recuperate from the trauma of witnessing a professional athlete struggle with shots that the majority of fans could make. The marketing team at Reebok has been granted more time to come up with a way to market shoes that are linked to a person whose most memorable moments involve failing to make shots. Even more telling is the fact that the injury occurred during a game against the Indiana Fever, who are coached by Caitlin Clark, Reese's college rival who has successfully transitioned from collegiate to professional success. Viewers were spared what might have been the most unfair individual matchup since David and Goliath because of the absence. Goliath would have received a basketball if David had been blinded.
She had a good game, 22 points, 13 rebounds, but she shot terribly. She got bailed out so many times, throwing up brick layups, getting phantom foul calls from the refs. She did make 10 of 11 free throws, so that is good. 6 of 16 from the floor is not good at all. 0 of 1 from 3. She was a minus 11. Listen, man, Kiki Area Fan got the better of her.
The Angel Reese case offers an intriguing case study of how contemporary athlete endorsements may go horribly wrong from a financial standpoint. Reebok has spent a lot of money on a player whose on-court exploits subvert the whole idea of sports endorsements, which is that achievement inspires ambition. Because consumers aspire to be like successful athletes, traditional endorsement deals are successful. Because they aspire to be like Michael Jordan, they purchase his shoes. They want to channel championship enthusiasm, which is why they buy LeBron James apparel. What is the Angel Reese shoe marketing pitch exactly? Do you miss the layups made by your favorite NBA player? The business has made an effort to shift its focus to Reese's persona and social media presence, highlighting her unrepentant demeanor and cultural impact. This strategy might be effective for lifestyle firms, but it gets difficult if your primary product is basketball performance gear. Since the signature player constantly shows that basketball fundamentals are ostensibly optional, it's challenging to sell the concept that wearing these sneakers will improve your game.
Great ideas, wants to bring in talent to grow Reebok and have people wear it again because no one does. So one of his genius decisions was this. Fucking signing her, Angel Reese. If you don't know who she is the queen of fish out of water going after a rebound that she shot herself and can get in the net ever. She reminds me of a 3-year-old shooting on those little kids' nets and throwing the ball and just completely missing the mark.
If Angel Reese had a supporting cast to make up for her shortcomings, her troubles might be easier to overlook. The Chicago Sky have instead put together a squad that appears to be intended to draw attention to her shortcomings rather than hide them. Reese's already dubious shot selection becomes much more troublesome when the squad is unable to generate simple scoring opportunities. This basketball soap opera is further complicated by the coaching situation. In his first season as head coach, Tyler Marsh faces the difficult challenge of attempting to construct a winning system around a player whose most dependable ability seems to be creating material for social media. It's similar to being asked to win the Indianapolis 500 while holding a sports vehicle with square wheels. Most tellingly, despite their ongoing losses, the team's offensive efficiency has actually increased in certain metrics throughout Reese's injury absences. This implies that even while she contributes numerically in the form of rebounds, her presence may actually detract from the team's overall basketball performance. This type of statistical conundrum causes general managers to update their resume and coaches to seek for antacids.
Tyler Marsh has this point forward thing on lock. Tyler Marsh has this Angel Reese point forward thing on lock. There we go, pushing the pace. Oh, yeah, Angel. It's okay. Don't be mad. All right, here we go. We got an entry pass. It looks like it's going to be to Elizabeth Williams, and oh, goodness.
One could argue that, in the current social media environment, Angel Reese's failings have actually made her more visible than her traditional success would have. Millions of views are produced by her missed layups. Her dubious choices quickly turn into memes, and her general basketball bafflement gives sports commentators a ton of material. A paradoxical incentive system is thus produced, turning athletic ineptitude into a source of amusement. Ree is now the equivalent of a reality TV star in basketball, renowned for being renowned, independent of true ability or accomplishment. This is an intriguing but dangerous idea for a business like Reebok. Do you place a wager on someone who attracts attention, even if it's mostly unfavorable? The problem is that failure-based viral fame typically has a short lifespan. Endorsement deals and signature items that no one wants to be associated with are eventually left behind as audiences move on to the next source of inadvertent humor. It's the distinction between being worth remembering and being memorable.
Stop it. There's a dude on the internet who cracks me up. Or on TikTok. He's put together a load of Angel Reese clips. And it'll say Angel Reese part 36. And it goes, Angel Reese going up for another layup. She misses. Bang! And I mean, dude, it's the funniest. And my whole thing is this, dude. She just seems as uncoordinated as a baby giraffe. Yeah, I mean, come on, man.
Tension is evident as the anticipated 2026 release of Angel Reese's iconic shoe draws near. Reebok has already made significant investments in the marketing campaign, released sneak peeks, and created excitement for what they believe will be a moment that defines their culture. The issue is that culture defines itself, and the culture surrounding Angel Ree has come to represent confusion in basketball. Industry insiders are starting to discuss possible modifications to the launch plan. Given that the relationship between Ree and basketball brilliance is at best shaky, some speculate that Reebok may switch from a performance basketball model to a lifestyle shoe. Others ponder whether the debut should be postponed indefinitely in the hopes that time will somehow mend the damage caused by innumerable viral lowlight clips. The most gloomy analysts speculate that Reebok may be searching for a completely different exit option. Even while the corporation has made a public commitment to the collaboration, it is eventually impossible to ignore the commercial realities of linking your name to persistent athletic failure. Even the most patient investors eventually begin to raise awkward queries regarding return on investment. There has never been anything like the Angel Ree phenomena in contemporary sports marketing. A famous athlete whose characteristic move has stopped making automatic shots. When performance does not meet advertising, Reebok's bet on her potential has become a prime example of how sports sponsorships may boomerang.
She is so bad that when Caitlin Clark and her were supposed to face off against each other the other week, the ticket sales went down from $100 to like $5 because Caitlin Clark got injured. She had a quad injury, so she wasn't playing. So guess what? No one wanted to go watch. And if you don't know Caitlin Clark, she's pretty much the GOAT of the WNBA and is the reason why people are watching. No one watches you, Angel Reese. No one watches you. The only thing that I enjoy watching is all the clips on TikTok of you just countlessly just missing every shot that you take.
The concerns for Reebok get more pressing as the Chicago Sky continue their decline into basketball obscurity and Ree continues to offer inadvertent comic relief. How do you market failure-related shoes? When a performance isn't doing well, how do you market it? When a person's primary contribution is content for blooper compilations, how do you develop a brand around them? The 2026 launch date is rapidly approaching, and we get closer to what could be the most embarrassing shoe launch in sports history with each missed layup, every viral basketball blunder, and every defeat in the ongoing catastrophe of the Chicago Skies. Unless Angel Ree is able to change her game in a single day. Furthermore, considering her past performance, that seems as likely as her making her next wide-open layup. As a result, Reebok may find itself in the awkward position of endorsing a product that no one wants to be associated with success. The Angel Ree experiment may ultimately serve as a warning against sports endorsements in the era of social media. The individual who creates the most buzz is occasionally humming for the wrong reasons. Furthermore, no amount of marketing magic can turn a real athletic deficit into a profitable venture. Whether Reebok will reevaluate their investment is not the subject at hand. The most costly joke in basketball is whether they will do it before or after the launch.